And welcome to The Factor Uncensored. There have been 15 confirmed Beryl-related deaths in Texas so far. Just heartbreaking. Energy providers are working to get the lights back on in the meantime. There are now around 700,000 people without power. However, the debate is why everything is taking so long. Joining us now here on The Factor Uncensored, the politics surrounding the recovery efforts. Conservative attorney Eric Dick, political analyst Dr. Dietrich von Bietenfeld, along with state representatives Ron Reynolds and Jolanda Jones. So guys, when we take a look at this, and we saw Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick have a press conference yesterday, and he blamed, well, he didn't blame. So he called out President Joe Biden. He called out Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo. Your thoughts on that, Jolanda Jones, as a Democrat to a Republican lieutenant governor?
So actually the storm didn't have anything to do with politics. The storm did not say, oh, I'm going to only get Democrats or I'm only going to get Republicans. They got everybody. But what I did do was I called County Judge Lena Hidalgo to find out if what Dan Patrick said was true. And here's what she told me before she left, because she left town.
But first establish what he said and then tell us.
He blamed her. He says he texted her and asked her if she needed anything, and she said no. And he also said
multiple times.
Multiple times, yeah. And then he said that President Biden didn't try to reach him. So he said that they lied on him.
Got it. Okay, established.
So, right. So I called her to find out if that happened. She said, first of all, I haven't spoken to that man since I was at that police officer's funeral, and he told me to sit down and shut up. So he did not call me. I spoke with her. He didn't call her. And she said...
And really quick, could it be a possibility that his office called?
He said he called her.
Okay.
He didn't say my office called me. I mean, since we want to talk about who's saying what.
Facts.
Facts.
Yeah.
The next thing she said before she left, she's actually got to do one thing in order for the county to be able to qualify for federal funds. She has to sign a declaration that it's a disaster, which she did before she left. But when they saw it was going to hit, then she came back. What the governor was supposed to do, or the acting or pretend governor was supposed to do, he's supposed to do two things. He had to declare disaster, and he needed to speak to local officials, and he needed to request it from President Biden. What he didn't do was request it from Biden, so it's his fault.
All right. Eric Dick, you look like you're a depressed Republican right now. You're like, I heard this before. No, you were like, I heard this before, whatever. So your thoughts on this?
Sure. So I think it's easy to blame each other. I think if I was, and I am an elected Republican, I'm one of the very few elected Republicans in Harris County. I sit on a board with 6 Democrats, and we actually are very functional. What he should do, or what any elected official should do, is not try to blame somebody else. That's the dumbest thing you can do. I'm saying that to both, to Biden, to Lena, to Dan Patrick. Blaming each other is stupid, especially at this point in time. You want to play politics at a less serious point. Here, Houstonians, a lot of people in Texas, they're tired of center point being center pointless. They're tired of not having energy. They're tired of the bad situation they're in. They want help. It doesn't help anybody to point fingers. So I'm upset with all of them. I'm not happy with any of them. I think Dan Patrick's first maybe 5-6 minutes were good. He was factual and all that. Then he started blaming people. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to read about Biden blaming Dan Patrick this or that. If any of that was true, what they should do is say, okay, I filled out the form for you. Here, just sign. Right. I'm going to sign for you if you don't respond. I mean, what the heck? People need help. What they don't need is some lame politicians blaming each other. They could do that in November. They could do that on an election. Then people figure it out. This is
State Representative Ron Reynolds. Let's hear from you.
Well, first of all, one of the rare times I'm going to agree with Eric. We don't need the bickering and the blame. People are dying. People are without power and sweltering heat. So enough is enough. But let's go back to the facts. The fact is, first of all, I didn't say this the other night, and I wanted to say it. Governor Abbott should have had his ass back in Texas, okay? He is the governor. We don't need an acting governor in a crisis. Just like Cancun Cruz went packing, getting out of here. We need leadership and statesmanship. So Lieutenant Governor Patrick, I believe, is trying to cover up for his mistakes. It was a mistake that they made. President Biden should not have had to contact them. They should have contacted him. They didn't do it. There was a delay. But we don't need the blame game. But if acting Governor Patrick was being defensive, he didn't want to take ownership and be transparent and admit they made a mistake.
All right, Dr. Dietrich von Biedenfeld, your thoughts on all this?
I've got to concur with the fellow panelists. I think we're all in accord on this one that it's not about blame.
I didn't agree to this.
All right. The problem
People
is,
are
though,
agreeing here tonight.
right? But
Go ahead, sir.
well, I mean, we've got to balance this, and at the end of the day, I think a lot of people would like to say we're not politicizing things and then talk politically, which what we talked about before, where I think there is a division among the senior leadership of elected Democrats in Harris County and sort of this happenstance Hidalgo County judge, where you're like, well, only because of the length of the ballot was an experienced judge not at the helm in Ed Emmett. And so if President Obama can find Osama bin Laden, if President Trump can execute an Iranian general, then how come Biden couldn't find a phone to call ahead of time and proactively participate? So I think there's a collaborative loss where there needed to be more interaction and collaboration, less blame, but also everyone participating.
All right, wait, hold that on. Hold that. We'll be right back.